What's up, guys? This is your boy madao, and we got another Wi-Fi and battle against a good friend of mine called TheJustIndy, and I'll be leaving a link for his channel in the description, so please go check him out. He does some good content. Anyway, let's talk about the teams here. Now, we both brought some unorthodox teams with some very non-common pokes, such as Pachirisu, Natu, Skitty's Evolution, which I forgot, Delcatty, there we go, Staryu, Shelmet, and Stunfisk. So, you know, we brought some pretty non-common things, which I thought was amazing because that's really cool. Anyway, really, for the Glaceon, as long as I can get rocks up with my Stunfisk, that Glaceon and Natu can't come in over and over again, which would be very, very nice. However, because he does have that Natu, and Natu does have Magic Box, it's going to be somewhat hard to get that rocks up. Now, Shelmet could possibly be used as really just death fodder for this team, and he can sponge any hit that Delcatty wants to do. I'm not sure what Pachirisu wants to do. I've never actually ran into one before. As far as Braviary is concerned, it can outspeed Natu, take it out easily. It could take out a half health Glaceon. It could take out a Marowak, depending on Marowak's HP. It can do a lot of damage to Licky since I do carry superpower, and I'm actually Life Orb the second choice, so that's going to be very nice. Now, I got a Choice Scarf Staryu, who can kill off Natu, can kill off Marowak, can do some decent damage to Delcatty, and Rampardos can go through Natu, Glaceon. Pretty much Rampardos can go through everything on this team. So hopefully I can keep Rampardos for the rest of the game, because really it can possibly one-shot pretty much everything. So anyway, that's the team preview. Let's jump into the game. So he's going to go for Marowak because I do decide to lead off with my Stunfisk. He's going to go for the double edge straight off the bat, which is fine by me because my Stunfisk is more defensive than it is offensive. As you see, I am able to land a Toxic on that Marowak. In all honesty, I had nothing that I wanted to switch in on the Marowak because Marowaks pack a punch. But now that I see he's going for the double edge, I'm going to go out into my Rampardos, thinking he's just going to go for it again. And odds are Rampardos can survive it thanks to the resistance, and I can most likely just take it out with any physical move. However, he ends up calling the switch, going for an Iron Head, getting a crit. So not only was it going to KO no matter what, it was overkill, just straight overkill with that crit. So I lose the best thing on my team against his team early on in the game, which really sucks. However, I do have that Choice Scarf Staryu, so I will be able to revenge kill that Marowak with the Hydro Pump. So now the score is 5-5. We both lost our huge physical threats. So he ends up sending out Licky just to counter my Staryu, as I decide to switch out into my Audino. And as you see, he is able to Dragon Tail and land another crit on my Audino, forcing my Stunfisk to come out. This is good and bad for me. One, because I can Toxic him, or I could decide to set up Stealth Rocks. However, he knows this, so he's going to go switch out into his Natu as I go for the Toxic anyway. Even though the switch into Natu is kind of obvious, at the same time I do carry Discharge, so I can hit that Natu for good damage. And my Audino does carry Heal Bell, so I really didn't mind having my Stunfisk getting Toxic anyway. And also at the same time I can always heal up my Stunfisk thanks to my Audino having Wish as well. So his Natu surprisingly pulls off a Calm Mind, which tells me it's not the standard Smogon set, so I'm going to have to be careful. Right now I'm thinking Calm Mind stored power, not sure if Natu can get stored power, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But luckily for me, I'm able to get my own crit after he gets 2 and bring that Natu down to low health. Anyway, at this point I'm like, alright, let me switch out into my Platinum on my Audino, because I can take any hit this Natu wants to give, and I can heal Bell up. But no, he decides to get another crit. So that's a lot of crits, guys, as he's going to go for another Psychic, which I know I can survive unless he gets another crit. But he does end up getting a special defense drop, so either way it's Hack City. But luckily I am able to get that Wish, and I can protect this turn just so I can heal up. So like I said, I do end up protecting this turn. I'm going to get a lot of HP back thanks to Wish. And at this point I'm thinking, should I Wish, should I heal Bell? Maybe I should just Wish one more time just so I can get a free switch out into something, because I don't think the Natu can one-shot really that much on my team, even though he does end up getting the second special defense drop. But luckily for me, I do carry the Regenerator on Audino, so even though I'm going to switch out, Audino's still going to get its health back thanks to the ability, as I end up deciding to go out into Tagger, my Braviary, really just because I figured it could survive a +1 Psychic from a Natu, then get all of its HP back. Now, he ends up going for the Calm Mind instead, but at this point it doesn't matter because Braviary will be able to outspeed, hit it with a return, and take out that Natu. So at this point, it is 5 for me. Now, he ends up sending out Delcatty. Really, I'm guessing, really just to hit me with a Retaliate. I'm guessing it might be Choice Scarf at this point, especially looking at that damage. But then again, I don't really know Delcatty's physical attack stat very much. I know it's not that great, but at the same time, you know, it's probably somewhat decent. So I end up going for the Recover, really just in case he wants to attack me again, as he decides to switch out to Pachirisu. I'm going to go straight out into Audino, and I'm not going to lie, I had to look up on Smogon what Pachirisu's would like to do, because I had no idea. And, well, it likes to Thunder Wave and Super Fang, so I went straight out to Audino, knowing that I'm not too worried since I have Wish and Heal Bell. So this Pachirisu can't really take me out. Now, unfortunately, this Pachirisu does well, most likely has Volt Absorb like most Pachirisu's carry, so it kind of stops my Stunfisk from being allowed to hit him with the discharge and try to get the paralyzation throughout his team, which is whatever. Anyway, he ends up paralyzing Maladino yet again, but it's not a big deal. And now he ends up switching out into his Hooker, knowing that Hooker can pretty much take out wall Audino for days, especially since I don't have an attack move. However, I decided to switch out myself into my Tao Kaka, and that is a reference to BlazBlue, so all you BlazBlue fans out there will understand that. But anyway, like I said, I switched out into my Tao Kaka, and he decides to switch out, knowing he can't really do much, and even if he decided to Dragon Tail me, I just wanted to get my rocks up, that way Glaceon won't be able to switch in over and over again, and mostly because I kind of figured it was probably Choice Scarfed or Choice Spect. I didn't know which one at this point, but at the same time I figured it was one of those and I don't want it switching in without having any damage on it. Anyway, he ends up going for the hidden power of Hooker, does absolutely nothing, don't understand that. I'm not Hooker, Delcatty, as he decides to switch out into Hooker after he realizes that they did a pitiful amount of damage, and after 2 turns of leftovers I pretty much gain all that health back. Now luckily for me, I'm able to get the paralyzation on the Hooker, and because of that I'm able to get the free switch out into my Tiger this turn as he does get paralyzed, which is beautiful because now Hack seems like it's going in my way, right guys? But anyway, I'm going to go for the superpower. Really, I figured I'm life orbed, this might be able to KO, and if it doesn't KO it's definitely a 2-shot, and I'm not too worried about him one-shotting me without any form of stat boosting, since he seems like an offensive licky. However, I completely forgot about Explosion, because I don't get exploded on very much, and wow, Explosion completely takes out my Tiger, and it's a crit, and I'm -1 defense, so that's another overkill for the TheJustIndy, but oh well, it's whatever. Anyway, I'm going to end up sending out my Shellman on the blind switch as he decides to set out his Glaceon on the blind switch, which is whatever, you know, it's good either way. And at this point, I don't really need Shellman, so Shellman's really death fodder as it is now. And luckily for me, I am able to survive that hit. Even though I don't do any damage with the Bug Buzz, I just wanted as much residual damage as I could possibly get on that Glaceon, since that Glaceon poses a big threat for my team if it is specting, even if it's scarfed and get some nice damage on me. Anyway, I end up sending out Audino now. Even though I have no attack moves, I figured I could just Thunder Wave this thing in the case it happens to be scarfed. So now if it's scarfed, it doesn't really matter, and if it's spec'd, it's going to be slower than a lot of things on my team, so I'll be able to just take it out the next time it decides to come in. Now he ends up sending out Perfect. I cannot purr at all, I'm sorry, but he ends up sending out Perfect or Delcatty, as I just have to switch out to my Tao Kaka, figuring that I could take any hit this Delcatty wants to do, because once again its attack stats aren't that great. However, he ends up going for the Wild Charge, which is random. I guess he predicted my switch into Staryu, which no, there was no reason for me to switch in all honesty. But anyway, I'm able to hit him with the Earth Power, get some nice residual damage on that Delcatty as he decides to switch out into Glaceon at this point, confirming that his Delcatty is choice, and I'm gonna go for the Earth Power, and after Stealth Rock's damage, that's gonna be a 2-shot at that range, especially since he is paralyzed. I will be able to outspeed, taking no damage from that Glaceon. That Glaceon will go down, so this is very nice because that Glaceon was a huge threat and now it's gone. Anyway, he ends up sending out his Delcatty really just to retaliate me, but I figure, you know what, once again, this attack stat isn't that great, so I could most likely survive this since I'm bulky. But no, he gets a crit, which was crazy because now my Stunfisk is gone. All I needed to do was kill this thing off. So now Stunfisk could have killed off the Pachirisu, it would have been game over. But oh well, I ended up sending out Staryu, hoping for the hidden power, taking out the Delcatty, and now his last Pokemon happens to be Pachirisu, and this is when my Audino and his Pachirisu go toe to toe in this epic Star War of stallness. which at the end, spoiler, at the end I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just give up. You can kill my Audino, it's not a big deal. It's gonna be Staryu versus Pachirisu anyway. So after the first turn of Wish, you know I'm not gonna narrate this, I just told you what's gonna happen. It's just me letting him kill me. As you see, I'm just spamming Protect. Anyway, this isn't a legit team, guys. Like, I know I tend to use Pokemon that I use in the team preview. These were just random Pokemon I decided to use out of nowhere. Really just because I wanted to use Rampardos, so I haven't used them in a while. I needed a Rapid Spinner, and so I looked at all the Rapid Spinners and I knew, even though I knew all of them, it's just nice to look at them. And then I looked at Lillicup and I was like, Staryu. So I went with Staryu. I could have went for Tentacool now that I think about it, but then again it was weak to ground. So was Rampardos, so I didn't really, that wouldn't have been that smart. I haven't used Stunfisk in a while, so I decided to use Stunfisk. I rarely use Audino, so I decided to use Audino, and I think I've only used a Braviary once, and that was on PO. So I decided to use Braviary. Am I missing a Pokemon? Shellman. I've never used Shellman before, and I really wanted to try it, so there. Anyway, that epic Star War is over, and I missed the first Hydro Pump, which sucks, because if I hit that first Hydro Pump, there was a huge possibility that I could win this. So since now I'm Thunder Wave, he goes for the Super Fang, brings me down to half health. Obviously it's Super Fang. I hit him with the Hydro Pump, and that's a 3-shot at that range, especially after leftovers. So, you know, if that first Hydro Pump didn't miss, maybe I would have won this, but then I get paralyzed this turn, so the chance of me getting a crit is just gone. Oh well, you know, got a little hacksy. In fact, that whole entire game was pretty hacksy. You got a lot of crits and a lot of paralyzations, but oh well, that's just the game. It was a really great game, TheJustIndy. It was your win. Don't worry about it, bro. I'm RG Madao, and I will see y'all later.